Today, I have an amazing guest. But first, I want to know about you guys. What are you struggling with in real estate? How can we help you out? Drop in the comments below. And I'm going to have this amazing guest that I got on today answer some questions for you. Her name is T. Marie. T, how you doing today?
Hello, hi everyone. I'm great. How are you guys? How are you, Nate?
Doing awesome. So I met T through the academy. And T, before we jump in, I'm just going to give people a few minutes to join in here. You guys, let me know below where you guys are at, what you're struggling with, if anything, in real estate. And me or T are going to grab those questions at the end of this interview, and we're going to see if we can answer and help give you clarification on any of that. How's that sound, T?
Sounds great.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Matt, where we got anybody chiming in where they're from? I am out in Cincinnati right now, and it was a hot day out, man. We were out shooting videos all day, weren't we, Matt? And
Yes, very hot.
yeah, it was a hot day out. So T, how was it in
Yeah,
Columbus? I imagine about the same as it
same
was down
thing.
here.
Yeah, the weather is crazy. Traffic is crazy. Everything is crazy in Columbus. Columbus is booming with a whole lot of
I
everything.
know. I'm so jealous, man. If I could move my house up to Columbus, Ohio, I'd be up there right now. I really would. I would.
Yes, you need to
So
come. Like everyone's trying to invest here. So I'm like, I know it's crazy because like I invest here, but I'm just come on. I'm like trying to get everyone to get in before it just gets ridiculous because even from last year until now, like the market's still insane, even with the interest rates being
oh, it's
insane.
only going to get worse. It's only
Yeah.
going to get worse, which is better for us. So when we say worse, that means better. Worse, better.
Yeah.
No. Um. All right, guys. So look, we are going to be filming a podcast tonight, and T. Maria is my guest. She's also one of my students, and she's going to tell you about her journey because there's many misconceptions to real estate, into what you really need to get started. And we're going to talk about the number one thing that most people don't value. They think it's money, they think it's credit. But a lot of you guys got money and credit. And I tell people, it's like, I say, hey, man, why ain't you playing in the Major League Baseball? They say, because I don't have a baseball and a bat. Has nothing to do with the baseball and the bat, has nothing to do with credit and money, has to do with knowledge. We're going to show you what she's been able to do since she got this knowledge not even 1 year ago. So, guys, let's all welcome to the new American dream, T. Marie from Columbus, Ohio.
Hey. So,
T, how you doing
what do you
today?
want to know? I'm doing great. I am excited. Whatever you want to know, I'm an open book. So,
Yep. So T runs our Columbus. She's the president of our city of Columbus for us. Just had an amazing meetup last month.
yeah.
We're gonna go into that, but let's talk about where you started at. Um, did you grow? Where did you grow up at?
Everywhere. So I was actually born, I don't know if you know this, I was born in Toledo and I moved to North Carolina when I was about 11 years old. Um, and I grew up kind of like your typical American. It's weird because like on my mom's side, my mom kind of came from like what we call the struggle, and then my dad kind of came from this more of a fluent lifestyle. So I literally grew up seeing both sides, um,
Mm,
and then that kind of just that mixture just gave me what you would call like a middle class, lifestyle. We weren't poor, we weren't rich, we just had enough. But in terms of like financial knowledge, like no one really talked about that. We didn't talk about investments. Like I didn't know anything, to be honest. Even going to school, going to college. I actually didn't even go to college right after high school. I kind of went into the workforce, and then I
mm-hmm.
started doing classes online, and I actually learned more working than I did in school. And then I
Yeah.
just
Now, did you
realized
did you did you get did you get any student loan debt, or what made you want to go to college?
because that's just like the thing to do. Like, my mom, she was a single mom and she was a teen mom, not with me, with my older sister. So she went to college and she actually ended up going to law school as well. And like I come from like a
Wow.
very
So mom went to
Yeah,
law school. That's pretty
she
impressive.
did.
Cause I
Yeah,
mean that
she
was what
did.
back in the 90s.
Yep, like back in the 90s. I think she graduated in 97. So,
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
was still a kid at the time. And so, but like I just came from a family where education was just like the key. Like you were to go to school, go to college, pick a career and go to work. And that's what I thought I
Hmm.
had to do. But what happened is when I actually started going to work, I realized I didn't like it. Like I
You
didn't
didn't like
like
work?
no,
Hey, wait, wait,
I
wait, wait,
mean,
wait. Hold on. Any viewers out here? Do you feel the same way? Do you guys hate going to work, or do you love going to work?
yeah, I like I just I don't know. I just knew it wasn't for me. Like I worked in banking. Um is my side freezing? I feel like it's freezing.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So yeah, like I worked in banking. I worked at I did like business development for dealerships. I did, that's where I learned everything. I learned a lot about credit through banking, through investments. I learned about investments through banking. I learned about credit and everything, working in dealerships, things like that. But I just knew I'm just like I hated the fact that I had to base my life around my job. And I just remember telling my dad, like, Dad, I don't want to. I said, I know this sounds crazy, but I don't want to work for anyone. And my dad was just like, he just kind of chuckled. He was like, well, that's what we do. That's what people do. Like, you know, everybody, unless you super rich. And he just kind of like laughed it off, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm just
So,
like,
so,
yeah,
so
this,
it's like, well, Dad, look, how do I become super rich then? And they're like,
yeah,
like if it's anything like my parents, they're like, silly Nate, money's for other people. And I'm like, what you mean it's for other
yep,
people? Like
yep,
I'm trying to get some of this money too. So,
yeah.
fast forward, so you learned about banking, which is really
hmm
good.
hmm
Banking, and I'm trying to get my son to get a job at Chick-fil-A. And he's like, why you want me to get a job there? I said, man, I want to know the recipe, baby. No, I'm just like, I just want to know the recipe.
Just a
And
little.
so, but my kids are like, I ain't getting no job because that was something I ingrained in them. Like, you don't want no job.
hmm
You don't
hmm
want to work for money. Even my daughter, she got a little drone and she was like, I'll work for 5 an hour. I said, I'm not gonna pay you $5 an hour. I'll give you $25 for every video you do. Because I don't I
hmm
want to train my kids to be productive and not trade their time for money, trade their
Funny.
time for skills, right? Um,
I like that.
and so you developed a lot of different skills. And last year you joined the academy. You didn't have any experience in real estate. You didn't have any
Mm-hmm.
deals. You joined last
Mm-mm.
August. What compelled you to join the academy?
Um, so like my husband, he does fairly decent, I guess he was a W-2 worker, but now he's a contractor. But for a W-2 worker, he did
Now, can,
pretty
can I
well.
ask you something? Did
Yes,
what you've learned over the past year have any effects on him wanting to be a contractor instead of W-2 employee?
absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he just like remember he came to the reunion and
Yeah.
he was just like, and my husband has a strong passion for software. Like he loves software, he loves coding, he loves creating software programs, mobile apps, all that stuff. But when he actually saw other real estate investors and just me starting from scratch, he just fell in love with it. And he was just like, this is what I want to do. Like I want to do coding when I want to do it, not when someone else is telling me, I need to
Yes.
be
He wants to take the big
logged on.
accounts. He's like, look, man, nah, you got to pay him big money because when you learn a skill set, people got to pay you for that. And so you joined I think it was last August.
Yeah, that's around the time I joined.
So it
I
hasn't
remember
even been
being
a year yet.
no.
And T,
Mm-mm.
like, how many properties have you gotten so far?
So we're currently at four, well, five doors, four properties. I think we're about like 1.2 million, like in terms of like what we own. I'm under contract, as you know, for like a bigger property. That one can
So wait, wait,
really.
wait. You got $1.2 million worth of property in
hmm
less than a year, right?
hmm Yes.
But how much do you owe on it?
So out of that, there's probably about close to 400K that's equity.
So you owe about 800,000 on us. You got 400,000. You've grown your net worth 400,000 in less than 12 months, T Marie. And you got
Right.
a
Yep.
deal that you closing on tomorrow that's going to give you
Hmm.
another 300,000 equity.
So if that deal closes, let's just see if it does. But if it
No,
does,
no, 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 no,
you'll
no, no,
be
no, no. Listen, listen. If the deal's right for you, it'll close. And we already
right.
talked
If the
about
deal,
that, right?
we talked about that.
Don't
Yes. If it's
force
right for
don't
me.
force deals because sometimes God can see things in that deal that you can't see. And sometimes it could be a great deal on paper, but guess what?
Yep.
Sometimes he's protecting you from other things that could happen. You could get in an accident going over there. Who knows, right? So
Yep.
don't ever, 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 ever second guess a deal. If a deal's meant for you to have it, you a child of God. You're gonna have it. Nobody can take that from you.
I pray on everything. So I told God, I'm just like, I might even, I literally have no stress about this deal. If this deal closes, the deal will give us, we'll be all in about 1.2 million, and it are like we got like a sub two appraisal. So it's projected to appraise at 1.7 something million.
As is.
As is,
So
it's
you
no. So as is, it's we're getting it under contract for 1.1. As is worth 1.3, and then after we do the renovations, it'll be worth 1.7.
got it. Got it. Got it. And you'll be
Mhm.
able to push the rents from they're 1,200 a piece right now.
Right, we're gonna return it to student housing, and we'll be able to get 2,000 to 2,200 per unit.
So right now it's 1,200 times 8 units is going to be 9,600 gross operating
Mhm.
income, and you believe that you can turn that to $16,000 a month.
Yes.
But the thing that I'm even more excited about is the area. That area is
Yeah.
going to go gangbusters because of what's going on.
Hmm.
You got so many different jobs going on in Columbus, Ohio. And so you said something to me the other day. Well, actually, you put it in a post. You said, I will be a millionaire this year. You'll have $1 million net worth just in your properties, right? That you've added in 14, 15
Right.
months. How have you been, let's say 16 months. How have you been able to do that so quick? And what are some of the sacrifices that you came up with to do that?
So, I didn't, I wanted to do this whole training as if I didn't have anything. So I didn't want to use my husband's income. Like, I'm a stay at home mom. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna count anything that we have. I want to see if I can do this. If I can do this, then that means anyone else can do this. And so I didn't want to preach something to someone say, oh well, she has her husband, or she has this. No, like I hustled. I had a
Mm-hmm.
business previous where I was like doing designer handbags. I was sourcing handbags. Over the years, I've kind of like have a collection that pretty much paid for itself. So I just started like going in my closet, selling clothes, selling purses, using that money, and I bought my first property. My first property cost me like $83,000. Um, it was a
Wait a minute, wait a
nightmare.
minute, wait a minute. $83,000 and you sold some purses to get that?
Well, I didn't buy the whole thing. I just bought. I sold enough purses that I could afford the down
So
payment
down
to
payment.
pay.
Got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
And hey, 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 for all the ladies out here, T Marie, can you show them one of your purses? Not right
Oh
now, but at the
goodness.
end.
Okay.
Do you mind?
Yeah,
Because
they're.
I
I
know
mean,
you
they're
a purse
behind me.
fanatic. You got what are them called? Them Birkins?
Oh yeah, here's one now.
Yeah,
I'm
come on,
actually
let's see it.
probably.
Pull it out.
Okay.
We
Can you
want to
see?
see it right here. Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
This one is
That's
actually a
beautiful.
glossy one in croc. And so the good thing about this one is that I'll be able to make about 10 grand on it when I sell it.
What'd you pay for that?
So,
If you don't mind us asking.
so this one was 19,000.
That's what you paid
And
for it?
yes, and so it should sell for about, it can sell anywhere from about 30 to 35.
Wow, wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome, team. And so you don't just burr properties, you burr purses, right?
I burn purses. Yeah.
Now you help other people with purses too. So any of you women out here, look, she went from purses to property. It started off
Mm-hmm.
for her as kind of like just a hobby, probably collecting purses. Then she realized, like, you know what? I'm pretty good at this. And
Mm-hmm.
then she took and she sold some bags to get a down payment. Now that right there is commitment, ladies. How many of you ladies would do that? Or how many of you men would love it if your women did that? So if
Yeah.
anybody, if any of your wives or any of you ladies got purses, T Marie, how do they get a hold of you if they want to sell them and go raise the money to get their first property? Because you broker purses as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I have like a private group, luxury group, and so they can just join it. It's called well, actually, it's invite only, so we do have to vet you, but I can actually talk to you like via Facebook, so you can just look me up on T Marie on Facebook, and I
So
can just
just
kind
look her
of
up on. Yep.
yeah,
So if you
and then
guys are
I'll help you
interested, there you
authenticate
go.
it. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. So, T. Marie, you've been a vital part of our organization. Not only do you lead the Columbus market, you're the president at. You put an amazing meetup last month. You had about what, 30
yeah.
people up there, 40 people?
Yeah, we had about 30 people. It was our first one. So I think we did pretty good for our first
You
turnout.
killed it. You killed it. I want
Yeah.
to tell you and Enoch, thank you. Tell him thank you so much, man. And I think I'm having a party at the end of this month. I just got to clear it with the wife. And if I do, man, I would love to have you guys down. I know it's up Crawford and somebody fighting July 29th, but I'd love to have you guys back down
Yeah,
if you
sure.
guys got time. And so, kind of what's your goal though? It seems like you become passionate about something and you're all in, and I think that's where you're at in real estate right now. But what's your
Yeah.
goal? Where do you want to get to by the end of this year? What about year?
Send me, sorry.
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear
I'm
you
sorry, I
now.
can't
We
hear
can
you.
hear you now. You cut out for a second, Nate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, so
Mm.
T Marie, what is your life look like 5 years from now in real estate? Like, what is your goal? And what do you want to achieve in real estate?
Yeah, so I guess my end of year goal is to have about $1 million in equity in all of my properties. And in terms of the next 5 years, I want to start doing hotels. I love the hotel industry. My daughter, she's 5, and she's like a hotel. I call her a hotel snob because she likes really nice hotels. So I want to get into luxury hotels. I have a great market for it already. I have a lot of friends who are into that luxury space. So something that like can kind of cater to the market. Um, Multifamily. Like I just want to be able to completely retire my husband within the next 5 years. So, I mean, at that time, he'll be around 45 or 46, 40, yeah, 45, 46. I'll be old. No, I'm joking. I'll be almost, well, I'll be 40 actually in 5 years. I'll be
Wait,
40.
T Marie. So your goal is
Mm-hmm.
to go out here and retire your husband.
To retire my husband. Like, you know, I could have had
Man,
like
that's
that
amazing.
comfortable life in the suburbs, you know, the suburban housewife. I could have like
Yep.
took that route, you know, but I was just
Yeah, yeah,
looking at
yeah.
him and I was like, I could take this route. We can have like the newest car and the newest like I mean the cars we even drive right now are old. Like we sacrifice a lot. We live pretty modest for our income because I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm just like if I have this lifestyle that looks good on paper and looks good when you go out, but my bank account and my investments aren't reflecting that, then it's just a waste of time. My husband can be working until he's 65 and I could be a housewife or we can just be living our best lives in just 5 years. So I think
Nah,
it's
man, that's
totally worth it.
amazing. I mean, well, once you get like the blueprint and you get it, I mean, you're one of the people you came in the first year. I really would have liked to seen you hit that $1 million mark, but you're going to do it in the first 15, 16 months. I
Hmm.
want you to also enjoy life along the way. So
Yeah.
I guess what has been in the academy, I know you've been just very active, but what are some of the things that you learned in there that help you get comfortable with buying and help you propel yourself so quickly?
Ooh, everything. You know, if I were maybe like a I guess a man, and I say that because, you know, men have that responsibility of provision, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure I would have hit $1 million already.
Mm-hmm.
But I I think about my time, and I'm actually doing this part time. To be honest, I don't work more than 25 hours a week because I like to homeschool my kids. I like to spend time with my children. So that was a part of the sacrifice I wasn't willing to make. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to still do well. I just have to really like those 25 hours. I'm just like grinding. Like I'm just making sure that I have everything that I need. I'm going to the academy for help. I'm asking questions. um, I'm very open and honest about the mistakes that I make. I ask what people think are stupid questions. Like I don't care. Like I just need to know. Because before starting the academy, I didn't even know what like plywood looked like. I didn't know what how much drywall cost. I didn't know. I knew nothing about construction. I knew nothing about anything. Like nothing. I,
Mm-hmm.
I was
And then
completely
how have you
dumb.
been able to get these jobs done and price them out and do burrs and find all these deals? Because people say that they can't find any deals out here.
I'm in the hottest, probably one of the hottest markets in the nation right now. It's so competitive. We have hedge funds here. I'm getting beat by everyone, and the majority of the deals I found were actually on the MLS. So there's deals.
Mm.
You just need to know how to find them, how to analyze them. I learned that from the academy. Literally, just what to look for before I submit tons of offers. Like probably 5 or 6 a day. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
submitting offers. I underwrite. And the numbers have to make sense. And so I don't
Mm-hmm.
like okay deals. I like great deals. So I'm very
Yeah.
methodical in how I go about doing it. And the reason why like our cash flow and our numbers are where they are. It's just because we're in a hotter market. We're in a market where the appreciation is going to just outperform cash flow 10 times over. So there's some
Mm-hmm.
of our properties we're probably only cash flowing a couple $100, but the property has already gone up since I've owned it, and I haven't owned it a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. No, that's what we teach you guys, man, because I've
yeah.
owned so many properties and the cash flow is really just an illusion, guys. If you don't have any appreciation, then
Hmm.
look, man, I was telling my partner the other day, I said, look, man, I was like, look, we only owe like, we're doing a refi and a lot of the single family homes we can't sell because we've taken so much depreciation and accelerated depreciation on them. If we sold them, we'd have to do a 1031 and then that would just be more work. And we don't want to do that. So we're
Hmm.
just refinancing, pulling cash out. Well,
Hmm.
the two family appraised at 240,000. It's right next to the hospital. And Mike was like, "Well, we only owe 110." I'm like, "Dude, let's pull the maximum out." And he's like, "Well, then it's not gonna make money." I said, "I don't care about the cash flow, Mike. Neither should you. It's about redistributing that money, putting it somewhere else that's gonna
Hmm.
grow." And I
Yeah.
said, "Well, Mike, do you think that that property in 5 years is gonna go up 60,000 in value?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Then you're telling me it's gonna get 1,000 a month in appreciation. Why are you worried about if it only makes 200 a month?" Right? Who cares? That's 1,000
Hmm.
plus 200 plus 300 principal reduction. That's 1,500 a month on one little bitty two family, right?
Hmm.
And he said, I think it's going to go up more than that. So where's the money made? And as the appreciation goes up, so will the rents. So
Hmm.
I'm glad you're conscious of that. And I mean, even but T, you told me like how do you price out your construction? Because that's a big part of why you're able to win these deals out because you know your construction numbers.
So I know my numbers. So I don't know construction, but I know my numbers, and I use the spreadsheet that you provide us at the academy. Because I didn't know like someone could have charged me, you know, $500 to put hung a door. I wouldn't know if that was overpaid because I didn't know anything about construction, right? Like those who I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the ones I've seen who've done very very well, they have some type of construction background. That kind of gives them like a leg up. But when you have no construction background, it's still possible. You just need the spreadsheet. You need to know what the market rate is, what's going for what, and I negotiate. Even the spreadsheet itself, I feel like gives you a good basis. But when I structure my deals, I look at the construction sheet. I kind of put it together. I kind of look at the whole picture. And I say, okay, this job is going to cost me roughly this amount. And so then I take that amount and I negotiate it. And so although I don't know construction, I know how to negotiate because I worked in banking, I worked in sales. So I kind of use those tools. I mean, I've had my own business. I use those tools, and it's not really focusing what you don't know, but strengthening what you do know, and then getting
Mm-hmm.
help for the things that you don't know. I'm not at the point yet where I can like be the general contractor to my construction projects, but I have a general contractor. I didn't get the one like you said with the flashy van. I got this guy. He has a raggedy van. The van is in the shop today. Actually, actually. So we had to like use my pickup truck. I bought a pickup truck. I literally don't even drive my car anymore. I drive a pickup truck. I got the materials. I now know how to price the materials. I look at
Wait, wait,
the
wait, wait, wait,
sheet.
wait, wait. You, I know you was driving around in a Porsche, and now you went and got you a
Yeah.
pickup truck.
I have a Ram. People, I hop out that thing. They look like who
Hey,
is this girl?
hey, that's awesome, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm really proud of you. But okay, can I ask you? And how much you pay for a window? Do you know your window cost?
um, well, like they're around like $200.
And how much you pay to get them installed?
Well, that's the thing. I pay on average about 50 an hour, but
Mm-hmm.
it's I probably get it done cheaper than what most people get it done for, because I kind of like
So what's
what
it?
I
What's
do
it
is I
take them an
ask them,
hour to do a window? Hour and a half to do a window?
and that's what I do. I ask them like, okay, for you to do this, this, and this, how long is it gonna take you? And then they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, how much are you trying to make? And
Yeah.
then they'll tell me, and then I just negotiate from there. And nine times out of ten, it's way lower than what I was gonna pay anyway. But like if I can get the construction at a good price, the reason why they keep doing it, they keep coming back, is because I have work for them. They know I pay on time. I structure, like, I know, I tell them like, this is my budget. Like, this is, we can't go over. I've never been to date really over my budget, except for my first one, but that was because I didn't have that contractor that I have now. But just say, if my budget is 40, 50K, I might have to say my budget is 30K. Maybe on paper I can do a
Mm-hmm.
50K budget, but if I have to knock it down 10, 15, 20K, I will. And I get good quality work done, and I know the price. I know how much it's gonna. I may not know like every single, like, I do use the sheet, but Columbus market is a little bit competitive. So some things, like if you itemize it too much, then it kind of like they may, like, may not or may not do it. But if I get a lot of easy work to do, I can actually negotiate the easy work and pay a little bit more on the harder work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just balancing it out. So,
Yeah.
T. Marie, man, you got a property that you're closing on tomorrow. I want to talk to you a little bit about, or send me a message
Hmm.
about that, and let me know how everything's going on that. I'm going to jump to the
Hmm.
audience right now and see what
Okay.
kind of questions, if they got any questions. For you ladies that are looking to get in, T. Marie started. It was just for her. She wanted something to do. You hear that?
Hmm.
She balanced her life. She wants to help her
Hmm.
husband retire. What an amazing spouse, and she has an
Thank you.
amazing husband. But that's when it's reciprocated back to each other.
Hmm.
He supported her, and that's just amazing, man. I'm so happy for you guys. But you made the
Thank you.
sacrifice. You sold the purses to get in your first deal. I can't wait to
Hmm.
have your shirt from purses to
The
properties up on our
properties.
website. Yeah.
Yes. I can't wait.
And purring,
So
not burring, purring.
Purring.
yeah. Hey guys, so
I like
you
that
got any
one.
questions for you got any questions for T Marie?
Yes, we got some over here on the actually we got some from Facebook, from YouTube, from LinkedIn. We got some from everywhere today. All right, so T Marie,
Hmm.
how did you get over analysis paralysis?
I know myself. I'm notorious for that. I deal with anxiety. Well, not anymore, but I used to deal with anxiety. But this journey has really strengthened every aspect of my life: my discipline, my prayer life, my faith in God, my faith in myself. Um, I felt like it's one thing if I try and I fail, I can accept that. But never trying and then wondering what if, I can't accept. Like, I'd rather show my children. I look at my kids. I have a 1 and a 5-year-old, and I look at my kids, and I want my kids to see that, like, mommy, she really tried. Like, she tried to give us the best life she could be. I can show them, even
Mm-hmm.
if I had to show them all of my failures and just a few successes, that's okay with me. But living my life and having nothing to show for it and having not tried because of fear, that is my ultimate fear. So anytime I feel like I'm stuck or like, oh my goodness, if this is gonna work, you know what? If the deal make is like Nate always says, it's a numbers game, right? It's all about the numbers. It's not about the feeling, the emotion. It's about the numbers. If the numbers make sense and if it's a great deal, do it. The worst case scenario is you left money in, but you have an investment, you have a property, you have a tax write off, you have something that you can give your children. So I would say that if you look at it as okay, you know what? If I mess up, fine. Like I when I went in with my first property, I literally said I'm gonna probably screw this up, but oh well. And guess what? I did. I screwed it up, but I bought low enough that I was still able to go out and be fine. Um, I didn't have to leave any money in a deal. It ended up being the perfect burr on paper. I got what I put in, and we're on to the next one. And my next one, I knocked it out the park. Like I made a so much money. I put added so much value. My construction costs went lower. So it's just once you just jump in that water, you get wet, you know what to expect. So don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure the numbers make sense and just do it. It's like going to the gym. That's my next. That's on my list, Nate. Going to just.
Me too, man. Me too, man. I hired a personal trainer to go for me, but they ain't been working out. So
You said what?
I hired a personal trainer. He's been going to the gym for me, but I ain't been seeing no results. Yeah, charging me all this money.
Oh, this. Yeah, so if I could, the same mentality, but like what, it actually helped because I stopped drinking soda, all the sugary drinks. So it's like it's a process, it's a mindset. Like Nate always talks about. I
Sparkling
have
water, that's
sparkling.
all I drink.
I have a
Yep.
Waterloo right here. Yep. And so it's a mindset thing. It's like once you can discipline the mind and you can get out of your own head, you're able to go forth.
That's
Now
awesome.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And guys, a lot of times, man, even like talking about the anxiety, I've had
Mhm.
things where I've struggled and I was like, you know what? I'm struggling because I don't understand it and I don't
Mhm.
have a plan if something goes wrong. So it's being able
Mhm.
to get around people that can help you put a plan together. And when you feel like you got support,
Yeah.
what like her husband or all the people in the academy or
The
me or
academy.
whoever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's when you really feel like, you know what, if I run into a problem, I'm gonna just call someone, they're gonna walk me through it, it's not a big deal.
I would not recommend doing this alone. And that's just the truth. Like I'm not trying to like sell anything. I'm being so transparent. Like if you're looking to do it, join the academy, find people to connect with. We have such a good community in Columbus. Although I'm the president, there's still people like, if you need something, we have our group chat, like everyone's there. There's some times where like, I call Nate, I call, people like Alex in the group. I actually talked to Alex a couple days ago about something, just
Mm-hmm.
having people that you can call on who
Yeah, Alex
actually
is
want
amazing.
you win. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Alex was
yeah,
actually one of
Alex is
my
the
first
president
buddies.
of our Detroit. He's one of
Yeah,
what?
we're supposed. Yeah, he was actually one of the first people who actually like was my friend, Alex. Yeah, so he was like my day. I call him my day one. He was there with me, from day one. I love
Yeah,
Alex so much.
I do
But
too. I
yeah,
love
just like
Alex,
having
man,
that.
he's amazing.
Yeah, having that support is just it just changes the game because like the mistakes that you would have made, like it can be something so simple. You just post it and then everyone's like, hey, I've had this experience, I've had, so you're learning from other people's experiences, their mistakes and their successes. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you just can't lose when you have a good network of people. You just don't lose. And
That's
if you
right.
do
That's
lose,
right.
it's not like horrible, like you can jump back and you can get back in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ready for another question?
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So, where are you finding your deals? You say you're putting in offers of 4 or 5 a day. Where are you finding all these?
The MLS. I know in a very competitive market, but I don't look at the deals everyone else is looking at. I guess like a quick like just start to finish. When I'm looking at an address or a property, I look it up on Google Maps. I see what's surrounding it, what is going to drive the income, the rent there. I'm using a lot of the tools and stuff that Nate gives us in terms of just analyzing. And I even check like what they owe. Like what I learn about the seller. I've actually got a really good deal because I studied my seller. I figured out what it is that my seller, one of my properties
Mm-hmm.
is the highest appreciating property that I own, and I got it even though she did not want to sell to an investor. And I realized it wasn't that she didn't want to sell to an investor; she didn't want someone in there, going into the property, destroying the property, fixing it up, putting lipstick on a pig, and flipping it, trying to make a quick buck.
Mm-hmm.
But when I presented my offer and I told my realtor, I said, let her know, like, this is something that's going to stay in my family. I'm using this. Like, I'm not here to flip it and get rid of it. This is something that's going to help my family. This is something that I'm keeping. I'm going to be able to pass on to my children because that family was important to her. So when I was able to get on her level, let her understand and explain to her, like, okay, she's not just your typical investor. Like this is a mom. This is, someone who's going to actually take care of this property. She's going to restore this
Wow.
property. She was like, you know what? I want to sell it to her. Like she didn't want it to sell it to anyone else. She wanted to sell it to me.
But but
So
but
it's just
T,
like,
you
mhm.
but T, you told me that she had an offer for 75,000 more, and you got it, right?
Yeah, that was actually no, that was for a different property, the one that I'm in
Oh, okay,
contract.
got it,
Yeah,
got it, got
yeah.
it. Okay,
But same thing
got
though.
it. I
It's
thought.
like I get to know my sellers. And I build relationships through my realtors with the sellers. Once you understand what the seller is looking to do, you don't waste your time. I know if a seller's just they want what they want, I don't waste my time on those deals. If
Mm-hmm.
estate sales, you can learn about people, why they're selling. You can learn about them. So the moment I started really understanding my seller, I look at how long they've owned the property. That lets you know if they're emotionally invested into it. All these different things, what they're willing to let go, if they owe taxes. All of these things are like things that I look into consideration before seeing an offer. So the properties that are on the MLS the longest, those are the ones that I analyze first. And I don't really get into bid wars. I don't like to bid because you're never going to get a good deal because you're bidding against other
Yeah,
people. I really don't do
that's
wholesalers
right.
either. I actually, my last property I purchased from a wholesaler. And the funny thing is, they told me straight out they're actually a national known wholesaler. Like they have branches all over the U.S. And they said we are very firm. We don't negotiate nothing. Like this is the price. These are the numbers, and they put everything. They kind of wrap everything up in a pretty little bow. And I said okay. And I walked the property, and I said I'm not paying that, but if you want to sell it, let me know. And so the girl called me back and she was just like, how much are you willing to pay for it? I was in my mind, I was like, man, maybe 75, 80, but I was like, probably 70. She came back, she was like, can you do 75? I was just like, let's do 75. Sometimes you don't want to make people feel like they're losing too. So there's just all these types of like
Yeah,
things
building
that
out
you just learn.
relationships.
Yeah, building relationships, closing on time, having your ducks in a row. People want to send you things just because of that. I get
Mm-hmm.
referrals. Referrals is another big one. So like for those of you maybe don't have a lot on the MLS, just talking to like your immediate group of friends. Like I have a lady now who has a couple of properties in Columbus that she wants to get rid of. And so, I'm going to be able to give her, numbers on that and let her know what I'm willing to pay and just kind of work through that. So there's deals, even in the most competitive markets. Like I said, I'm in one of the most competitive markets and I don't have the money that a lot of these big investors do, but I make it work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Guys, sorry, my neighbor's dog's over there barking.
You
Um,
funny.
yeah. All right. Matt, let's go two more questions, okay?
Two
I don't
more.
want to hold T up too long. I know you, family's important to you, and I want to just thank you so much for jumping on here. Look,
Of
guys,
course,
if you
my
guys are
pleasure.
interested in learning, if you guys are interested in learning more about our community, our group, our mentorship, just comment below. More info. We'll have somebody reach out to you. If you guys are struggling with the burr, just say struggling below, and we're gonna send you a free copy of the mini course. And just kind of, it's gonna break down. It's not. I mean, we go deep in the course. We go real deep, guys. Like it's 13 weeks, and then it's ongoing education forever. like weekly coaching calls. It's not like ongoing for 3 months. This is something that I want you to ingrain in your life. And so,
Mhm.
if you guys are interested, just comment below. Where are we getting the question from here, Matt?
All right, this one is coming from Facebook. Where did you get your funding for your first deal?
I sold stuff. Like I sold bags, clothes, like old things around the house, and I used all that money. I used a private lender, and I found a lender who was willing to take a chance on me. I was able to put 10% down, and after I complete the burr, I took that money and I bought another one. And then I'm completing the bird and I did another one. It's like once you get one going, you don't have to keep like it's not like you have to have all of this cash. I don't know why people think that you have to
Yeah.
have like a massive amount of cash. I don't have a massive amount of cash. Like
Hey,
I'm
hey,
from a
yet.
yeah, sorry. Okay, thank
There
you.
you go. There you
Yeah, I
go.
don't have a massive amount of cash yet. But I come from a very family oriented family. Like my husband, we have a lot of responsibilities outside of ourselves. So we have to be very like meticulous and methodical about how we spend our money, where we're spending our money, because there are a lot of people within our family dynamic. My husband comes from a third world country, so we have support we have to do back home. So there's a lot of things, and so and that's part of my why as well. It's just like if I can do well and we're healthy, then we can just do and we can build and we can just do what we need to do. So it wasn't that like I just have all this cash saved that I was able just to go out and buy tons of properties. Like I did everything one by one, and I took some of Nate's advice, and I was able to like I didn't wholesale to myself, which I should have, but I was able to do my rehab, so I'm able to have cash so I can go on to a next deal before without having to wait for the refi, things like
Now
that.
you're gonna
Um,
get you a deal that you can wholesale to yourself and make, six figures on. And
mhm.
that all comes in repetition. It's why I don't tell
Yeah.
people. It's why I had a plan. It's a 5-year plan for you to become a millionaire. Now we've had plenty of people do it less than a year, right at a year, under 2 years. But I believe that the system that we put together with the blueprint, with the support, anybody
Hmm.
can get there in less than 5.
Anybody.
Anybody. I don't care who you are.
Anybody.
You can become a
Hmm.
millionaire in under 5 years.
Hmm.
Now, if you're not jumping on the weekly coaching calls, if you're not active in the community, if you're not watching the course, going through there, asking questions, you're not going to get it, because this is not like this is above Harvard. Like Harvard is going to teach you how to do one specific thing. We're going to
Hmm.
teach you how to be millionaires, how to understand money, how to understand. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. But when you
Hmm.
get it, you get it. You'll never lose it. All right, guys, and let's go one more question because my battery's about to die on this.
Okay. And yeah,
I
T
know,
is
right?
always posting on the Facebook group, the private Facebook group.
Very
Always.
active, very active in there, asking questions since day one, and that's the reason that she's been able to grow so quick.
For sure.
Hmm.
All right. Let's do one last one. This is probably for both of you, Nate and T. Can you do a DSCR loan first, then an FHA after?
Um,
Go ahead.
I
I
don't
was.
know. I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that. Are you
That's what I
flipping
was
it
gonna
to
say.
yourself? Yeah, I don't know why you would want to do that. So, but I mean, you can listen, man. They put people. They got a rocket ship that's out in Pluto right now, sending photographs back. So
I mean, are you talking
certainly, if
about
they
like
can do
doing a?
that, go ahead.
I'm thinking maybe like if someone like the only thought process that came to mind is like if they did a DSCR loan and like did well, no, because like that's like after the refi. Because I was thinking maybe they want to like fix it up and then sell it to themselves at like a higher amount, and then they buy it. Like I take it out of the LLC, and then they buy it using FHA, so they can get the money back. Is that what they're trying to do? You know what I mean, Nate? Like
Mm-hmm.
just say that you have a
Yeah,
property, you
yeah.
rehab it, you sell it at a premium to yourself, and then you
And
buy it
and
using the
and
FHA.
and I mean, me and T, we can't answer that because that all has to do
Yeah.
with your loan document. I'm sure the people you got the DSCR loan not gonna care, but unless you're wanting to read through that whole file of Fannie and see, I wouldn't know. And you would have to read through that whole document to see. And I would think that what's your goal? What are you trying to get done? There's probably another way to achieve the same thing. So,
Hmm.
guys, again, man, my phone's like on 1%.
I guess that concludes our call. Like,
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks T for joining us. We appreciate you
no
hopping on. We
problem.
appreciate
Thank you
your
guys for having me on.
yes, we appreciate just how much you give back to the community and how much of a cornerstone you are for the community. So we
I
appreciate it.
appreciate it. The community gives so much, so it's literally nothing. So thank you guys so much.
No
And if you
problem.
guys have any questions about anything, I mean, I'm still new, but just hit me up on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. You back? We're about to
I
like
got two
conclude this
phones.
thing.
I got two phones. Uh, so, T, look, man, I just want to thank you for your time. You and Enoch, you
No
guys
problem.
are amazing examples. And I tell him I said hi and thank you for
I
jumping
will.
on here. The new American dream, where you take charge of your
Woo!
life, you decide what your life looks like. Nobody else
Yes.
decides that. T, keep us in the loop. Let us know what's going on with your deal tomorrow. And let me know if you need some help on that at all. All right, and thank you for joining us. I will see you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Nate.